Hey guys, this is Jacques from MakuluLinux. Today I'm going to be showing off the MakuluLinux Unity Desktop Alpha 1.2. Actually, I'm in the process of moving this to Alpha 2 because of the sheer amount of work I've done on this. I think since the last video, which was around about 9 AM my time yesterday, I've been working through the day, through the night. It is now the next morning, 6:32 AM. I am still awake, and I've literally just finished working on this specific build. So I know I've taken about 4 breaks in between. So I would say I've put in a good 18, 19 hours of development, all in one shot, one go. I am determined this year to make this project really shine, and I know a lot of people are saying you're so skillful and all this. It's not. I'm not really all that skillful. I learn a lot as I go, and there are a lot of things that I sit for hours, even days, figuring out until I get it figured out the way or sitting or looking the way I want it to look or whatever. So a lot of it is motivation and determination, and anyway, the point is, this year I'm going to push this project. I'm going to be doing a lot of things that's out of my comfort zone, and I'm going to be putting in a lot of work. I'm going to have many of these 15, 18, 19 hour days, because I really want Makulu to stand out this year. At the end of the year, when they look back, I want them to say that no matter how the distros turned out, that guy worked hard. He worked for everything that he got, and that's exactly what I want to do. The biggest change in this edition from the last video I made yesterday, and because I did such a lot of work, you could probably say it's about a week's worth of work I put into one day, is actually thank you to a user who goes by the guest account on the chat channel, to guest 4673058, I think is his guest username, if I remember correctly. I was actually trying to do something pretty much for about a day, and I couldn't get it figured out, and I was hitting blank walls everywhere, and he kind of pointed something out to me, and that kind of just headed me in a whole new direction and just opened up a whole lot of doors. So the biggest change in this edition is not just the this little launcher menu that I've put into the bottom here, because another user asked me, like, why put it there? It looks so out of place. It's because I actually had a bigger picture in mind, and thanks to that user for pointing me in the right direction, I actually managed to get hold of a bottom bar that I was able to manipulate, and now Makulu Unity Desktop Edition has a fully functional bottom panel. Look at that. Look how amazing that is. And I can just minimize and maximize everything as I want, and I could open more items, and I can minimize those, and I can go open more, and I can minimize those, and I can just click on any one of them and just maximize, minimize to my heart's desire as I want. Just open them all up, minimize them all quite easily. And if you notice, this bottom panel, it does not interfere with the wallpaper. It is not even transparent, it is just invisible. That's it. Invisible is probably the better word than transparent, because transparency would indicate that there was something to make transparent. This is purely invisible, and not just that. If you actually close all of these, let's just close all of these, you'll notice the bottom panel is now completely gone. You can make use of that actual space where the bottom panel was. But open up something, bottom panel comes back, and I cannot select anymore. So suddenly there's like a bottom panel here. So that's pretty cool. Fully functional bottom panel with a traditional menu. So now you've got the dash launcher, which I've always hated, but you've got the dash launcher. If you prefer the dash launcher, use it. Otherwise, you can use the traditional start menu. It is there. But you have a fully functional bottom panel, and I'm surprised that Ubuntu hasn't given the users this option, because majority of users left Ubuntu because of this no actual proper panel, and this stupid dash menu that brings up 20 bloody Amazon ads and stuff that you got to search through to actually get to the app that you want to be at. So yeah, so that really changes a lot in the distro. It really makes it stand out, because now you actually have a functional Unity distro. I mean, there we go. Look how easy and how quick and how painless that is. A fully functional bottom panel. It actually, you've got 3 panels here now. You've got your top panel, which has your system icons on the right. You've got the controls on the control buttons and the control menus on the left, so that fits nice and fluently up there right in the top corner. Then you've got your launcher on the left part, this panel over here, which is actually more of a favorites panel than anything else. And then you've got your bottom panel, which is a traditional menu and a Windows list. So look how cool that all just blends in. You know, you've got the panels just kind of blend. Each one has its own functionality, which is pretty cool. You don't have any wasted space. I mean, you've got your controls over there and you've got your system icons over there, so that's well spent space. You got this panel which hosts a lot of favorites, and you can add more and even scroll them, so that is useful space as well. And then you've got your bottom panel, which is your Windows list, and your traditional start menu, which is also very useful space. So everything has its purpose and has its spot, and nothing is interfering with anything else. I would say this is a pretty damn good layout on any given desktop, not just Unity. Of course, on Unity it really does look nice. So that is what the biggest, newest thing is in this build, is that you have a fully functional bottom panel. It's crystal clear, it's out of the way, and it just looks so damn good with the rest of the transparency that the system has. The other major change here would probably be, I saw a user complaining about the fact that he prefers Nemo over Nautilus, and I've seen a few of those posts, by the way, because when you hover a mouse over an item, it actually, Nemo pops up information about the size and how many items and blah blah blah, and Nautilus doesn't. You got to select Nautilus before you see anything, and even then it doesn't really give you the size. Well, Nautilus, if you actually know what you're doing, is actually quite functional. You know, I've added I've enabled this feature in Nautilus where you can actually see how many items are in a folder, and if you actually go into the folder, it will actually show you the name, the preview, and the size without needing to hover your mouse over anything. So you see that on every file. So you got all the information right there in front of you without even needing to move the mouse. So I'd say that's pretty cool. You've also got a whole lot of right-click options: scan for threads, compress, open terminal, share, email, open as administrator, rename, copy, you name it. And then if you go in and you actually open a file type or highlight a file type and you right-click, like images, you'll see set as wallpaper, resize, rotate, that's resize multiple images, that's resize one image, send to paste bin, scan for threads, email, compress. If I open up audio, if I right click audio file, I don't have one here now, but if I right click an audio file, that will give all the audio options for converting audio and that kind of thing. So so I've added a lot of functionality to Nautilus. I've spent a whole day working on this distro, working on Nautilus, working on the themes. You know, got some great themes in here, and I've been tweaking them the whole time. I'll just go through it quickly for the guys that didn't watch the previous video. Now, I spent, I think, quite a few days just getting this top title bar transparent, because apparently after, I think it was 3.04 or was it 12.10, Ubuntu took away the ability to make top title bars transparent. Every single guide I found on the net, it's, you know, they're outdated. It doesn't work anymore. None of those things work. I had to manually go dig in CSS files and edit themes and stuff to get this to where it is now, and it wasn't easy, I'll tell you that. A lot of experimenting, but I finally managed to actually get the top title bar transparent. And not just that, if you actually put the two together there, you'll see it's almost a 1 one to see there, it's almost a one-to-one match. I actually matched it with the top panel so that they actually look almost identical. That's almost a one-to-one. So that's really awesome. Not only is it transparent, but it actually flows with the top panel, and that's important because this maximizes into the top panel, so you don't want them looking too different, you know. So yeah, so you keep the transparency throughout when it's minimized and when it's maximized. So that's pretty cool. See, I like spending time on little things like that, making those little tweaks that make all the difference. Anyway, I've got some great theme selection here. This is the Makulu Lite, the default one, which as you see has the gray menus. There is transparency on the menus as well. If I open, you'll see you can actually see through that menu, the actual main menu as well. You can see the trees and stuff in the background there. There's a lot of transparency, but I kept the text really bright and the transparency not too much, so it's easy to see the menus and stuff even though they are slightly transparent. If you go look here, I'll run through the themes quickly. You've got the Makulu Black, which is a very dark theme, but it's also got very sort of a flat look to it, which is very nice. Also transparent, a lot of transparency there on the actual menus, but as you can see, the text is nice and like bright. You can see the text easily. Then I've got Makulu Blue, which is a very lightish blue and white kind of theme as well. Once again, it's also slightly transparent, except on the white menus you don't really see the transparency much, but there you can see it. And the text is very bright again, so once again easy to see. Then you get a Makulu dark blue, which is a sort of a darker blue with a gray, dark gray, and once again transparency but text easy to see. Very nice looking theme, by the way. And then you get a Makulu Brown, which is a brown and white, and again white menu, very easy to see text. Then you get a Makulu Dark, which is a much more darker. Even though the other theme look darker, the menus here are very dark. It doesn't have that extreme highlight. It's got a darker blue kind of. And then you get the Makulu Dark Blue, which is actually a more of a Tron kind of looking theme. As you can see, I've even got transparency in the border on that. It's like almost like a Tron. You know, the menus are very nice. This theme was actually designed, I think, to be sort of semi-transparent. So this is a nice theme. I think that was the old Ambience Blue DS or something it was called before I started editing on that. And then you've got a gray theme. And with this one I made the top panel actually sort of like almost like a smoldering shadowy effect. I had a user request that I do some of the themes that way, and so I decided to add it to one or two of the themes just to please the user. So I'm sure he'll love that. I hope he does. But this again is two shades of gray, and then of course again the text on the see-through menus are very nice, easy to see. And then of course you've seen the light theme, and then there's a light gray, which is a very similar kind of gray all over the show. And again, yeah, the text very easy to see. And then you've got the monochrome, which is also a sort of a different shades of gray, but it's almost got like a very flat look to it. Sorry, where am I now? It's almost got a very flat look again to it, you know. And it's almost like it's turned around, you know, like the darker is dark on different places, where the light is lighter on different other places. So that's a pretty cool theme. And then you've got the night theme, which is a very sort of a dark blue theme, but with very bright blue highlights. So also another nice theme, also text easy, clear, nice and clear to see. I mean, that you really can't not see the text, you know what I mean? It's very bold, it's very nice. And then you've got a white theme. This is now virtually completely white with the white menus. It's almost like a GNOME 2 kind of theme. Again, text very easy to see. So yeah, you got a nice selection of all different colors. The themes are very nice. I spent a lot of time on themes. I've added a couple of new wallpapers here as well. So you'll see some old, you'll see some new. let's see. Yeah, so there's a nice variety. I know some guys always say I go too cartoony, but I really like the cartoon wallpapers because they're so colorful, you know. But I've put a bit of everything in here, and I'm not done, you know. I'll still keep adding more and taking out and just going crazy. But there is a nice selection of wallpapers here, a little bit for everyone. So that's pretty cool, and that will probably grow before this build goes live. But yeah, I would say this release is going to be stunning, because I myself did not think it would actually turn out this nice, and I'm still in alpha stages, which means there's still a lot that could change. Although I highly doubt it. I mean, I really like this look. I'm probably going to be spending the next 3 or 4 versions just polishing and fixing bugs. All the backend stuff is done, the Bluetooth is done, the network's done, the sharing is done, the driver support is done. Most of the programs are in. Now it's mainly just focusing on bug fixing. Anything that gets reported, fix it. Maybe make some adjustments if somebody tells me this is hard to see, or wouldn't this look better over there, that kind of thing. But I must tell you, this is stunning. This is the first Unity build that I've ever actually enjoyed using, and mainly I must say the bottom panel is probably the main reason. I mean, look at that. I can just open stuff up and just minimize, maximize the way I would use a normal panel, you know, normal any addition. And this start menu over here is movable, so you can drag it anywhere you want. And the bottom panel as well, which is obviously the tint, and I've actually included the tint GUI wizard. So here you can go and you can edit all of the settings of this bottom panel. You can move it, set it in a certain position on the screen. You can even add a clock and a battery to it. You can go crazy with panel settings and stuff. So users can literally customize that. They can move all of this to the right, to the top. They can auto hide this and move this up there. It's extremely customizable what you can do with the system. Of course, as a standard layout, I have always preferred my panel at the bottom, my Windows list at the bottom, and my menu at the bottom. Therefore, that is the layout that it will come out in. But that does not mean that you can't change it. You're obviously going to have to play around and mess around with it, but I'm sure if you're determined the way I am, you shouldn't have any problems moving things to where you want them to be. So yeah, so that is pretty much the Alpha 1.2, about to go Alpha 2. I've uploaded 1.2 for the testers so they can mess around with it. It's really nice. I really like that little button is over there, and that the rest, because it's just sitting in the corner there, just reminding the user that there is something down there, but the rest of the space is open to use. It doesn't interfere with the wallpaper, doesn't interfere with anything, and when you need it, it comes up and is there, and it does what it's supposed to do. So that's pretty cool. This whole layout is exactly just perfect. And if the Ubuntu guys are watching, maybe this should be a clue for something they should implement in the future in Ubuntu, because I tell you, it will really push your user base up. So I'm happy with this so far, and like I said, I've now spent, it's now 6:51, almost 7 o'clock. I've been working on this since 9 o'clock a.m. yesterday morning, and I'm still here, busy making the video now. And I'm gonna go sleep for about 4 or 5 hours, 6 if I'm lucky, and then I'll start all over again. So I'm putting in the hard work. I want this edition to shine like none other, and the next edition and the next, and so this whole year you'll see me extremely motivated. You're gonna see Makulu push a lot of work, a lot of projects, and you're probably gonna think I'm on drugs, but I do not do drugs, just for interest's sake. I'm just highly motivated to do my best this year. I've always wanted that number 10 spot on DistroWatch, at least to get into the top 10, and I realized there's no other way to do it but to put in the hard work and just be determined and motivated, and get there. And I want to thank all the guys that have donated the last few weeks on the project. It has really helped, and probably one of the bigger things that has really kept me motivated, the fact that I don't have to, you know, I can now like relax a little bit, and I don't have to worry that I'm gonna run out of smokes, or I don't have money to pay for bills and stuff like that. So thank you a lot for that, guys. You guys keep that up, and I will keep up the hard work. So yeah, this is Jacques from MakuluLinux. I will probably see you guys soon in the next video, but I'm motivated. This is going to be a great release, unlike any other Unity, I'm sure. And I'm only just getting started this year. It's a long year, a lot to do, a lot of good releases probably coming out. Oh, I forgot to mention, I actually have the full Makulu constructor working in this edition. I spent a lot of time yesterday making that, adapting that, and adapting the installer to work, so they are now fully operational. I've compiled it multiple times. I've installed it with EFI, without EFI. I've tested and retested and retested, and Makulu Constructor is now fully operational in Ubuntu. So once you get this edition, you can customize the build, move whatever you want, where, change whatever you want, and then you can just hit Makulu Constructor and rebuild the system into an ISO, and then install it on any PC with your setup the way you like it. So that's another nice big thing that comes with us, especially with this edition where people are probably going to be configuring a lot or moving stuff around a lot. So yeah, that was a lot to take in. I know I was speaking quite fast, but I am quite tired and I want to hit the hay. And so yeah, biggest changes, Nautilus. Lots of changes in Nautilus. The other thing is bottom panel fully functional, and off the bat just works out of the box. I mean, look at that. Some other thing I didn't really show off was I've got all of the flashy effects working. I've got the wobbly windows working. Look at that, wobbly windows. This is in VirtualBox, by the way, and I don't know if you've been noticing the speed of this, how fast this has been running. I've just been clicking, and things have just been like flipping through without any lag or anything. And this is in a VirtualBox. Unity is supposed to be a pretty sluggish operating system unless you have the power for it, and this has been flying. So speed is always something I love to concentrate on. You always see me highlight speed. So yeah, you got the wobbly windows, you've got the cube fully operational, you've got the unfolded cube fully operational, you've got the cylinder fully operational, so you've got a cylinder there as well. I'm still going to customize a bit on that cylinder. You also have 8 desktops, 8 virtual desktops. These are set inside Compass, by the way. 8 virtual desktops, nicely laid out, 4 at the bottom, 4 at the top, so you don't have to scroll out of the screen to get to them. Very easy, just click the little workspace switcher over there, that little button, and just switch to a different workspace. So pretty awesome. Yeah, so everything's operational off the bat. I've worked a lot on the back end stuff. Every time I find a bug, I fix it straight away as quick as possible and then move on. I don't want to waste time. And yeah, so this is going to be a great release. Great release. You think the Cinnamon release was good? It was a really good release, but this is going to be another great release. Why? Because I'm doing Unity the way it's never been done before. I think a lot of Unity lovers are going to love this. And don't worry if you're one of those guys that don't like special effects. Loader, you can fire up Compass and just untick everything. You don't have to have the special effects. I put them on because it just enhances the desktop and just makes it look so much prettier. And in this day and age, everybody likes prettiness, you know what I mean? But you can easily switch all of that off. You can just open up Compass and untick everything, and there you've got yourself a plain desktop with nothing on it. So yeah, don't stress too much about flashy stuff. They can always be turned off. But yeah, great release, great addition. I'm really loving working on this, and I'm sure you guys will love it as well. And I will chat to you guys. Look at that, I can even drag it through the different desktops and drop it there. There we go, just dropped it on the first desktop. So yeah, pretty cool, pretty nice, actually very fucking awesome. That's the right word. Sorry for the swearing and the cursing, but very awesome. But yeah, I'm going to bed now. I'm just babbling now because I'm tired. I will see you guys soon. Please leave feedback, leave comments, leave suggestions. Let me know what you think. I keep seeing people just click like and dislike and whatever the case would be, but nobody ever actually says anything. So I kind of never get the feel for what users think. So please feel free to comment. I mean, that's what the comment section's there for below the videos. It only takes a minute to just speak your mind, and at least then I know if you're liking what I'm doing or if you're disagreeing with something. So yeah, do that please. Anyway, cheers guys. I'll speak to you soon.